Hello and welcome to Leadership Explained. Today we're going to be talking about situational leadership. This is a model designed by Paul Hersey and Ken Blanchard in the late 1960s. The model describes 4 different stages of development and links those to 4 different styles of leadership that best suit each phase. Let's take a few seconds to look at the model before we discuss it. Okay, so the bottom chain describes the 4 stages of employee development, ranging from development 1 to development 4, or D1 to D4. The top graph shows the different stages in relation to each other, and tells what level of direction and support the leader must provide. It is obvious that D1 from the chain below should be linked to S1 in the model above. The bell curve should be followed from right to left and shows the development path. It corresponds with which style of leadership should be adopted in a specific development stage. So let's take a look at the 4 development levels. It is important to understand that even though one can develop from D1 to D2, D3 and finally D4, it is also possible that an employee starts at D2, D3 or D4, or skips one of the steps in the process. This all depends on the employee's past experiences and his or her ability to learn. So when we think of D1, we think of the new guy. He is usually highly motivated to start his new job and therefore shows high commitment. Since this employee is new to the job, his competence will be low and he will need to work on his skills to improve in his work. D2 is the person who has been around the workplace for a while but is still improving his skills. This can go hand in hand with low commitment, as it is in the human nature to lose motivation if one does not develop fast enough or when one does not fully understand the tasks that he or she must perform. D3 shows the employee who has gained significant knowledge on the job, but is still not happy with his skill level. This will be reflected in his competence in his work combined with average commitment. This person distinguishes himself from D2 by the fact that he certainly knows how to do most of his tasks and overall performs these tasks quite well. D4 describes the professional. This is the employee that has mastered the job and gains motivation by performing the tasks assigned to him or her. Success leads to motivation and motivation leads to success. This is obviously the stage we eventually want every employee to be in. Okay, so now let's connect the 4 stages of employee development to the 4 required leadership styles. Starting in the bottom right, we meet the new guy. He requires a directing style of leadership. This means you should specify his tasks and often explain him how to perform these tasks. The employee should not be put in a position where he or she must take big decisions. The second stage of development requires a more coaching role. Whilst maintaining a directive approach, the leader should implement supporting behavior in his leadership style. This means that the leader must motivate the employee by providing positive, constructive feedback on his performance, in turn guiding him or her towards a higher skill level. In the third stage of development, the leader must drop his directive behavior, as the employee by now will know how to perform most tasks, if not all. The leader should trust his employee and show him that he trusts him, and allow him to make important decisions, but only after having consulted with the leader. This ensures that the employee will continue to develop and gain self-confidence in his or her performance, whilst the leader maintains a certain control over the output. The 4th stage is the most fun to work with, if one knows how to. A leader dealing with these types of employees must take an absolute delegating role. Delegating means distributing tasks to certain subordinates, whilst maintaining an absolute minimum level of control whenever possible. The leader must mandate his employee to perform the task completely by him or herself, and the only role the leader must take in this process is the overseeing of the final product. When employees establish such a relationship with their manager, output can be extremely high. The manager can fully focus on distributing tasks and maintaining overall longer-term view, while the subordinates can fully and independently focus on their assigned tasks. Okay, so now let's discuss the main takeaways from this model that I think are most important to remember when leading any person or team at work. Direct and coach new employees. Let them improve their skills while maintaining motivation through positive feedback. Support competent employees by allowing them to develop on their own and mandate them to make decisions after consulting you. And lastly, delegate tasks to developed employees and trust them in executing said tasks. Keep minimum control as to show trust in order to maintain the employee's motivation. Lastly, I want to discuss 2 examples of poor situational leadership that I come across a lot in my environment. The first one is throwing new employees into uncertainty right from their first day. This decreases the rate at which they develop and causes stress. It may very well destroy their motivation to learn the job. The second one is directing competent employees and checking them on every move. This will cause the employee to feel unappreciated and not be taken seriously. This in turn decreases their motivation and most likely their output. I hope that you learned something from this video and do your employees a favor by adopting these specific leadership styles. Please comment below if you ever found yourself in one of the mentioned development stages or leadership situations. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.